Gazzetta says, think about it. That's the front page. Spalletti has questions about which attackers to start, but of course he knows for sure his star of the show will start Donnarumma, who has been the outstanding Italian so far within this competition. What do they have to think about, Gab? What questions does he need to answer?
I hate to be that guy here, but it doesn't actually mean think about it. It basically means you take care of it. And then there's a big picture of Donnarumma. The message there seems evident.
Gab. I'm not sure if
Italy
you're right.
have been riding.
What sort of experience have you got with Italian?
That's Don.
Thank you. Yeah, it's only 25 years writing for Italian newspapers, but no. But look, I think there is a sense that Donnarumma can. Now, look, compared to the person who went and asked ChatGPT in the back there to go and translate this headline.
What do you mean I didn't ask? I just got handed this bit of paper. Oh. All right, sorry, Gab, go on.
Anyway, look, there's no question Italy have very much ridden Donnarumma in this tournament. He didn't make much of a difference against Spain because they lost the game, but it was a difference between losing 1-0 and losing 3-4, 5-0. And he has grown into this captain, into this leader. I think the reality is there's always a ton of apprehension when Italy plays Switzerland, basically because, we share a long border with them, basically because over the years they have turned us over many times. And everybody remembers the reason that Italy weren't at the World Cup in Qatar, even though I like to say it's because we wanted to give somebody else a chance. No, it's because Switzerland turned into kryptonite for Italy's penalty takers, Jorginho, and those two missed penalties obviously weigh really, really heavy. So there is definitely some concern. There's some concern that they don't match up well. Switzerland, very quick strikers. Obviously, Ndoye and Bolo come to mind. They've got a lot of players who play in Italy who know the Italian side and Italian players really, really well. And Italy, obviously, also without the suspended Calafiori at the back, and probably without, almost certainly, in fact, according to Spalletti, without Federico Di Marco as well.
If Spalletti loses tomorrow, is he out, Gab?
I don't know. I don't think they've quite gotten that far. I don't think he'd be out. Spalletti was kind of an emergency sort of solution after Roberto Mancini walked out on this team last August to go and chase the big money in Saudi. I think it's more a question of would Spalletti want to stick around or not, and does Spalletti want to continue for another 2 years, with a view towards the World Cup? I think that's more the question. I don't think people are blaming Spalletti. I mean, the knives aren't out. People know that this is a limited squad. Everybody saw that when Italy's played with people like Retegui, like Zaccagni, Scamacca. It is what it is. Those are Italy's forwards right now, and there's only so much you can do in that context.
Didn't we all love that graphic?
Which one?
The goalkeeper.
Oh, the goalkeeper one. Yeah.
Expected goals at the bottom,
yes.
Minus goals conceded.
You love it.
Equals.
Who have you got winning this game?
Goals saved equals. What?
Who have you got winning this game?
Switzerland, same as the other day.
Why?
You weren't here.
No.
Bracket.
Yep.
Brackets. We filled the brackets. We're filling time, really.
Right.
Padding.
Standard.
Do. I've not been impressed by Italy. Match day one, it was Albania. Spain was an absolute horsing in terms of performance. I mean, it could have got out of control. It didn't. That was more to do with Spain's finishing. The Croatia game, you've got to credit them. I mean, they had a good spell, I think, midway through the first half. They created some chances, and then they just switched off, thought they had done it and done enough getting the point. Croatia scored. Croatia created a few more chances. And I haven't been, and as Gab said, they've got a couple of players, key players for them, that are not available. The big man's probably kept him in the competition, Donnarumma. There's no doubt about that. And Switzerland, as I said, they're a good side. And Gab mentioned the front guys. They've got a back three with a huge experience and power and pace in there. They've got experience in the middle of the park. I've gone for Switzerland primarily because I think they're a solid team, and I just don't feel this Italian team is good enough, to be honest.
Stephen?
I think clearly you got to go for Switzerland.
Wow.
The fact that your goalkeeper has been talked about as being one of the best players in the tournament is not a good thing, Dan.
No.
And the fact that a defence that has let so many shots and let let Donnarumma take the spotlight when you've got your first back four, half of them missing. Well, not half of them, DiMarco's missing, but Bastoni's not going to be 100%. Then you're in trouble. And you're asking for trouble. And unless it goes to penalties, I don't see where the goals are coming from. I mean, Spalletti picking the front line is throwing darts. I mean, I think Bastoni, for me, has scored and had more chances than anybody else in the Italian side. So, yeah, there's nothing that points towards Italy beating Switzerland.
So 2 saying Switzerland going through. Who do you say, Gab?
So at the last Euros, I picked against Italy in every round of the knockouts, and we know how well that worked out. And I was going to go and pick against Italy for those very same superstitious reasons. But hearing these two guys being so down on the Azzurri, come on, they're playing Switzerland. They're not playing Brazil 1970. This is Switzerland with Ndoye, with Shaka, whatever. Come on now, seriously.
Oh. So now
Switzerland nearly lost to Scotland.
This is one of the worst-looking Italian teams I've seen, even for the teams that didn't qualify.
You brought it up, and Dai and Bolo, you pulled up the back three, how great they are. Guess what? Look at the other team. Defence is a shambles, and they don't have anybody up front. And you're having a go at us for saying that Switzerland are going to win. Seriously, Gab? Come on.
You don't need your strikers to score. There's other people in the team that can score. And I'm just not so high on Switzerland, I think, as you guys are, because let's face it, they got battered by Germany. Germany scored late, but they could have scored before that. If you look at the XG at the end of the game, that tells its own story. And against Scotland, need I remind you that Jan Sommer had to pull off a minor miracle, or they lose that game.
Hold on. Let's just backtrack here. Switzerland got battered by Germany, but about 6 minutes ago, you just said Switzerland against Germany, they're not fussed about having possession of the ball, so they're always going to get out-possessed. Which one is it?
No, you can get back. I think it's one thing to leave the ball to the opposition, and you say we don't want position, we'll hit you on the break. But if you do that, you got to be able to defend and not give up good chances and good opportunities to the opposition. And that's what happened when Switzerland played Germany. Germany created a bunch of chances. It's only that they ended up converting them late off that set piece with that late equalizer. But certainly, I mean, if you look at the numbers in terms of chances conceded, shots conceded against Germany, those aren't great numbers for Switzerland. And again, I refer you back to the Scotland game. This is Scotland we're talking about, and how close Scotland came to actually upending Switzerland.
So
I'm not that big in Switzerland either.
No, we never said they were Brazil.
Not that big in them. But if we're going to talk about Germany creating chances against a Swiss side that don't really want to dominate, well, what about an Italian team that didn't want to dominate against Spain and probably took an even bigger shellacking? I mean, it should have been 5 or 6. So there are issues for both sides. I'm just more down on Italy than I am on Switzerland, and I think he's the same.